Well, hey there, all you rockaholics and CGCM Rock Radio faithful. Welcome into another edition of Rock Talk right here on YouTube with CGCM Rock Radio. My name is Bob Bannister. Now, don't forget, you can always go anywhere online and find us. Just put in CGCM Rock Radio into that Google machine. You're going to find us. You can go to www.cgcmrockradio.com. You can also go over to our Facebook page. You'll find all kinds of links there. And you can also find us on YouTube, where, of course, you're probably going to be watching this video on right now. And don't forget, click this button right here, the one between my two fingertips. Yeah, that like and subscribe button. That's very important. Social media is very important. And bands these days know that you have to be able to do great social media in order to succeed. The band that we caught up with earlier is no different. There are a bunch of musicians from Florida that know that social media is the way to get the word out there, and they are killing it. I am talking about Sound Theory. You've heard them on our CGCM Rock Radio Top 20 Countdown. They've held the number one position. They're always in the top 10 because they're always releasing new, great music. I was able to catch up with Samantha and Tom from that band and had a really great chat about everything from chocolate right down to their favorite bands and who they're listening to these days. It was a really, really fun chat. I hope you're going to enjoy it. So what do you say we head inside the Rock Talk Forum and have a chat with Florida's own Sound Theory. All right, and let's welcome to Rock Talk from the band Sound Theory. We've got bassist Tom Cook along with vocalist Samantha Martin. How you doing, guys? Welcome in.
Howdy.
Doing great, thanks. Thanks for having us.
You're quite welcome. Now tell us the story of Sound Theory. We've had you on the CGCM Rock Radio Top 20 Countdown numerous times. New song on there, which we'll talk about in a bit. But what's the background of the band?
Well, we've been together since 2015. We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary, and we still got three original members, myself, Jeff Coda on lead guitar, and Chris Stamper on keyboard and vocals. We're like I said, we're three original members. We've been through, obviously numerous members over the years, but we're going strong, and we've probably done between 800 and 1,000 shows in that 10 years, and we're already booking strong for next year. So we've developed a really good following. And about 2.5 years ago, we said, hey, you know what? Let's start recording some originals and see what happens. So we've recorded, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're just recorded original number 13. And, we're just having fun with it, and radio's starting to take off. And our label, Echo Range Records, is promoting us. We pay them for radio airplay only, and they're promoting us around the world, some foreign markets. So in addition to the great support we get from guys like you, they're pushing us too. So we'll see what happens.
Excellent. Lucky number 13. We can only hope that it goes up from there. Samantha, what's your background? When did you come to the band?
I actually joined, my first show was a Halloween show, actually. In October of 2023.
Okay. All right. What did you come from another band into Sound Theory, or?
Yeah, I had another band that I was in beforehand that I'd been in for almost 3 years, and then they ghosted.
Okay.
And then my friend that's in a band down here, a very popular band, they just won Orlando's Best Pop Band. Stereo FM, my friend Britt, she said, hey, I know this band that's looking for a new singer, and they've never had a female singer before. Maybe you can try them.
Awesome.
And so I started talking to Tom.
There you go. And Tom and Samantha, that seems to be the way it goes now. You look at a lot of the top tens on a lot of radio around and on Spotify and everything. A lot of female dominance on the charts,
Yes,
Yeah, we're becoming more common in the rock scene.
and that's a good thing.
it really changed the whole dynamics for us. It's like the ship made a 90-degree turn because we'd always had male singers, but when Samantha came on, it just opened up so many opportunities. I mean, we're probably doing 12 to 15 female cover songs now, more on the horizon, but it's really opened up, as far as our originals recording stuff we can do. And, we're so happy to get her first original out there, the one, we got released now, Stand Up Rock Out. And it's interesting the way it came about. I mean, I wanted to get her in the studio a couple, or as quick as I could, because I saw the talent she had and she'd never been in the studio. So I wanted to get her in there. And doing so, we went back and recorded a couple of originals we had done several years ago. We recorded them with Samantha on vocals, and they both came out good. We released one to radio, and it did pretty well. And then she did the duet with Hunter, the "It's Only Love," which you guys played
Mm-hmm.
the heck out of. And those two together are magic. We still use Hunter on some of our originals and some of our recording, some of our live shows, because he plays with another top band in Orlando. But those two knocked it out of the park on that. And early this year, Samantha came to me and she said, "Hey, Tom, I'm getting the itch to write an original." So she sent me some lyrics back in February. And I said, "These are great. Let's put some music to it." So late April, she and I got together. We put some music to it. We took it to the guys, rehearsed it, worked it up, played it out live for, I don't know, a month and a half, something like that, right?
Yeah, 5 shows.
5 shows, yeah. And we took it in the studio, recorded it, and released it to radio September 1st. And it's fast becoming one of our best songs we've released so far. I'm just super happy. And this is my first collaboration with Samantha, and we're already working on some more stuff.
That's excellent. And you just answered my next question on my list here. You just went right into talking about Stand Up Rock Out. But that's a pretty big song. It's Only Love. Bryan Adams, of course, a big Canadian icon, and Tina Turner. That's some pretty big shoes to be stepping in, Samantha.
I love Tina.
Absolutely. Would you say she's one of your major influences?
I'm not even sure about the influences. I love more her attitude
Mm-hmm.
and how raw her voice is. So I absolutely love that. And I try to just come on stage with that kind of attitude.
Tom, how about you? Who's your biggest influence?
Oh wow, I've been doing this so long. There's just so many of them. You talking about as far as bass, or just what?
Musical influence, like it could be a bass player, it could be an artist.
I was heavily influenced by the Beatles early in my career, and later on, just bands like Aerosmith and Def Leppard. I recently got about a month ago. My wife and I got to go down to Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida, and see Def Leppard. They've been on my bucket list for years, and probably one of the tightest bands I've ever heard in my life. And they kind of re-inspired me. I mean, just the music is so good and just good raw rock and roll.
Oh yeah, their rhythm section is so tight. The two Ricks, you can't even slide a piece of paper between the two guys.
Oh
They're
my God,
so tight.
The two guys in Boston have always been two of my favorite guitarists, but the guys in Def Leppard are right up there with them. I mean, they are so tight. But yeah, those are a few of the bands. I mean, I'm sure there's more, but Samantha has actually gotten me into a lot of the bands like Hailstorm and Pretty
Mm.
Reckless. We're doing some of their stuff, and she's turned us on to so many of those songs, and I'm really into those guys.
And Lizzie is such a powerhouse. Samantha is.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
do,
adore her.
do you play guitar as well, or?
No, I don't play any instruments. I did try to take violin lessons for a year, but I'm right hand dominant to the point that this hand is just for balance and aesthetic at this point. Like, if I try to do this with my fingers, it takes my brain power to do it with this hand, not with this one. It's very strange. I have to think about it. So trying to pick on the violin, I could do long notes
Right.
where I just have to hold. But when it came to like trying to do the vibrato and everything else, my hands would not move fast enough.
Now, you
So
guys,
that was
Tom,
annoying.
uh, I can understand that completely. I'm a failed musician myself. That's why I do radio.
Yeah, for me, it's always been the vocals.
Right.
So like I've always sang and my dad always had music in the house. So whether it was a lot of hair band metal, so Def Leppard, but Barry Manilow, freaking Kenny Loggins and James
Mhm.
Taylor were always on. So I came up in, the songwriting, passionate storytelling, melodic side of that, and all different kinds of music, pop, rock, country, didn't matter. And
And
then my mom was a huge Stevie Nicks fan, and I always thought she was just a masterful lyricist. So I loved listening to the stories.
and just listening to some of those names that you've dropped there, and you hear a lot of the artists nowadays even mentioning the same thing, and I think that's part of why the genres are melding. I mean, I a big part of my background in radio is country radio, and you listen to that, and basically it's basically rock with fiddles.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they call the alternative.
The alternative, yep.
Yeah, because like I'm a millennial, so I came up, listening to all of my dad's stuff, but then 90s it was all the boy bands and the old R&B,
Hmm.
and then it suddenly just dove. I went head first into emo.
There
So
you go.
I found that I enjoyed singing Evanescence a lot and I like the vocal tone. So
Hmm.
I really enjoy doing Evanescence. I would like to do more Evanescence.
That's
But
a
yeah. So I'm not sure, like Tom was talking about his inspirations. For me vocally, I'm not really sure. I like to emote. I just want, if I can't get the feeling
Hmm.
and I can't connect with the song, then I can't project what I want. And I like to do songs that I can tell the story.
it's so interesting, Bob, that another great thing that Samantha has brought to the mix is we're all, classic rock minded. I mean, the majority of the band, and she has, we always try to keep our song list current and mixed up because we have so many younger people and older people at our shows. It's become really hard to mix everything together and keep the whole crowd happy. And she has brought that knowledge of her age music to the band. So we kind of, trust me, we have some heated discussions, right, Samantha, on songs we're going to learn. But we have people at every show coming up and say, we just love your guys' song list. And we try to throw at least one or two originals in every show. But she has brought that mix we needed to keep the song list fresh.
That's very cool. And speaking of shows, you guys are busy with a capital B. I mean, I go to your Facebook page and I see nothing but gig lists. Octoberine. Tell me about what's that's so cool.
Oh, we've got a bit. We've been off for the last couple of weeks. Our drummer had a trip planned over to Italy, so he's been gone for a couple of weeks. He just got back yesterday, and so we decided just to take a little fall break for a couple of weeks. But we've got a busy October coming up. We've got Biketoberfest coming
Hmm.
up in Daytona in a couple of weeks. We've got a couple of those shows lined up. Plus October, being a 5 week month, it's our 5 week months are always our busiest months. So we've got a really busy. I think we got 5 or 6 shows. Plus we've got an original showcase coming up at the end of the month. Excuse me.
Hmm.
October 26th. I put these original showcases together with our band. We're the host band, and we've got 4 other bands playing. So we'll have five bands each doing an original set on the 26th of Sunday afternoon, which is awesome.
So, what would you say the state of the rock scene is in Central Florida? Is rock back?
Oh yeah, it's very strong. I mean, like I say, there's still a great mixture out there of some of the music Samantha has brought to the mix for us, but there's still a lot of bands doing rock out there. And correct me if I'm wrong, Samantha, but there's still a lot of rock bands out there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of classic rock, but I've noticed there's now more and more metal or
Mhm.
pop punk bands popping up now that are made up of members all from like my generation, and they're all kind of filling that void. And then a lot of the older bands are starting to kind of add a little bit of the newer music to, balance it out so that the one crowd isn't completely alienated for the other crowd.
So I'm going to ask both of you this question. I want both of you to answer it. One piece of advice that someone gave you or that you would have wanted to get when you were starting out on your musical journey that you would give to another band that's just starting out now, Tom?
I would say develop strong relationships with every venue you play, form a partnership with the club manager, the venue manager, whatever, because trust me, everybody in the club business knows everybody down here. And if you piss off somebody at one club, trust me, the word's going to get out. And both Samantha and I have seen that happen down here, not to our band. I do all the booking, and I pride myself on, great relationships. I mean, we've gotten gigs from one venue recommending us to another venue. We've gotten many gigs like that, but that would be one piece of advice. And the other thing that I learned, I was on the road for 7 years touring with a theatrical rock band out of Rochester, New York called Sugar. And the one thing they taught me, which Samantha brings to the stage every show, is it doesn't matter if there's 10 or 1,000 people out in the crowd. You give 100, 110% every show. Because if you don't, people will notice and the word will get out. Hey, these guys didn't give it their all this show. But give it everything you got, no matter how many people you have out there.
And that's kind of interesting because it plays right into a piece of advice that an old station manager that I used to work for gave me one day. And he said, "You know what, Bob?" He says, "You're only as good as your last show."
Yep. Great. I love it.
Samantha, piece of advice you'd give to an upstart.
If you can't do it sober, you might not want to be doing it.
There you go. There you go.
Because I've met so many people that they desperately want to perform, and they'll go to karaoke. They want to do that. They want to get on stage with the band, like they want to, but they got to be hammered to do it. And I've met a lot of performers that unfortunately that lifestyle caught up with them and they're not doing so well. I've lost a couple of friends from, complications from alcoholism that were my age because they could only perform when they were drunk, and then it just ran away with them. So yeah, careful with the drinking or doing anything else on stage. You want to make sure you're putting on a good show and that you remember it in the morning. You're not falling over and breaking your leg for no reason.
There you go.
So be careful with that. But also, it has to be fun.
Yeah.
Yes, keep it fun. Absolutely.
If you're up there because, this is just another job, the crowd will tell. I've gone to many a concert where the band was just checked out. And there's very few things more frustrating than feeling a band that when you're listening to their album or you hear them on the radio, you're connecting with it. That wall gets between you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, great, whatever.
Yeah. We pride ourselves, Bob, on our high energy on stage. Plus, we always get our crowd involved. I think that's probably our mission statement: get the crowd involved, and trust me, they love it.
So, what can a fan expect at a Sound Theory show?
Well, like I say, they can expect a good tight band. I mean, we do a lot of great covers, good tight band, high energy. We try to keep the flow going and go from song to song, especially when we got a good crowd on the dance floor. We try to keep the flow going, keep them out there. But like I say, that the high energy and the audience participation, and Samantha and I, we always have a blast on our side of the stage. I mean, we get some goofy pictures taken of us, but like she said, we're having fun, and that's the name of the game, right, Sam?
Yep. And plus, a lot of people really enjoy looking at the faces our drummer makes.
Yeah.
Now,
if they're going to be in the front row, they just need to be careful. Once in a while, a freaking drumstick just goes whizzing by my head. He hit
Yeah.
me twice my first show.
Oh no. Now
Twice. He
that
in the
leads in.
first set of my first show with him, I just felt dink, and then handed him back his stick, and 15 minutes later, back of the head again, and it was off. I was like, "What are you trying to do?"
That leads to my next question. One of our sponsors here on CGCM Rock Radio is Iron Maiden Trooper Beer. And Yannick Gers, one of the guitarists from the band, he's always the guy that's either falling off the stage or dropping his guitar or falling on his face. Have you guys had a Yannick moment on stage? A
Our
spinal tap
drummer
moment?
stepped and put his foot through his spare tom.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he had to replace that.
Oh.
We had a situation recently with me. We, it's been brutally hot down here over the summer,
Mhm.
and we were on stage playing, and I started feeling nauseous, like I was going to throw up, and I said, "Well, we're almost to the break. I'll be okay for a couple more songs." Next thing I know, I blacked out and fell off the stage.
Mm.
But thank God the bass broke. It would have been a face plant if the bass hadn't broke it and sliced two fingers really bad on the strings of my bass. I was in the hospital for 2 days.
I remember seeing that.
They ran a million tests and turns out it was dehydration. So my piece of advice to all bands is drink electrolytes. I mean, all these tests it was dehydration. So I drink liquid IV now. And of course, our drummer, he drinks it, but we've had we've seen stories of other bands. It's a lot of work you put out. So make sure you're hydrated. And that boils right back to what Sam was saying about don't drink too much, because that's bad if you're dehydrated too.
Absolutely. And Sam can relate to this too. That affects the vocal cords, doesn't it?
Yes, it dries them out really bad. So when people say, "Oh, I need to do a couple shots to warm up," it's like, okay, but in about 30 minutes, it's going to start scraping. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why when you wake up the next morning, your voice is so dry and scratchy and it kind of hurts
Yep.
because they're dehydrated. And then you end up pounding a bunch of water, but that takes time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm not anti-drinking. I will drink, but I never get drunk, and I've always got my cup with me.
There you go. And it's the same for us radio guys. You got to protect the God-given gift.
It's your money, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So everybody's got one of these. What's one song that you hear? Maybe it's on your playlist or you're in the car driving, a song comes on the radio and you're like, damn, I wish I wrote that.
Oh wow! Go ahead, Sam.
Wish that I had written it.
Yes.
Hmm. Separate ways.
That's a good one.
By the way, we do the Hailstorm Godfrey version of that, and this lady kills on it. The heavy version,
I can believe it.
she kills on it. I guess mine would probably be Hysteria by Def Leppard. I mean, that song, every time we do it, as many times as we've done it, I just get chills when the band breaks into it. It's just they closed with that song in concert for their encore when I saw them. It's just got such a cool feel to it.
It is a very, very cool song. Now, before we wrap things up here, I like to kind of step away from the music talk and whatnot. I like to do a little thing called this or that, just some nonsensical questions, top of the head answers. So if you're ready, we'll dive on in.
Okay.
So
I
peanut
love
butter or
things.
chocolate?
Chocolate.
What was the first one? I'm sorry.
Peanut butter or chocolate?
Peanut butter.
All right. If it's chocolate, is it dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Dark.
Tom?
Um, honey flavored peanut butter.
Okay. Ice cream or cake?
Cake.
Cake.
Let's see. Scary movies or comedies?
Scary movies.
Comedy.
Android or iPhone?
Android.
iPhone.
And finally, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
No.
There you go. All right, Samantha and Tom from the band Sound Theory. You guys have been an absolute rock stars here on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio. What's your website? What's your socials so fans can keep in touch?
Go ahead, Sam.
All right. Well, we have our Friends Who Love Sound Theory band page. It's the one that we post the most often on, where the fans interact and get updates from us very regularly. We also have our Sound Theory Rock Covers and Originals Facebook page. We have the Sound Theory Band on Instagram, and Christine just posted a YouTube page that she started today for us.
And Bob, we also have a website, soundtheoryband.us. Soundtheoryband, yeah, .us.com, something like that. Anyway, it'll pop up. But yeah, we're excited. We just got the YouTube page out there today, and we got all of our videos up on there. So it's going to be fun.
Excellent. I want to thank you guys for joining us on this edition of Rock Talk. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And I want to thank you for joining us. And we'll catch you again next time right here on YouTube with CGCM Rock Radio's Rock Talk.